No, you're good, Nora. Camera people, go ahead. And here we go.
Is it good?
Alright.
This is the Never Fall Down group, and I'm Jonas Turman.
I'm Elley Lawson.
Declan Kane.
And alpacas are just giraffes that are really angry.
That has nothing to do with the book. Okay. We'll be discussing page 1 through 109. Okay, so part 1, summarize key events. What's the top 10 things that happened in this reading session? Write your answers. Okay, so for number 1, I put the Khmer Rouge start to take over. Well, I've been reading it as so whatever.
Khmer Rouge.
I put the exact same.
I put down that the soldiers are coming back and Arn sees them, and then he hears that the war is over on the TV from his friends that have TVs.
What do you put for number 2?
I guess like getting one of mine was
You have your sheet.
Yeah, completed.
now it's still there.
Okay, number 2.
I put Arn gets captured by the soldiers.
He didn't really get captured. They were kind of all forced to leave because the Khmer Rouge people said that the Americans were coming to bomb them.
Yeah, I wrote down that they like walked for like 3 days because they always ask like, oh, when are we stopping? And they'll be like, oh, well, in 3 days. And then yeah, but it was always.
But then they keep saying 3 days.
It was always just 3 days, and then 3 days later it was still 3 days.
Then the Khmer Rouge people start to like ask everyone what their jobs were, like what their placement in like society were, like if they were smart or if they were rich. And they would take them or write their name down.
But they would also like take their possessions, like the say, we had like a bunch of wristwatches.
Number 4, I got Arn get separated from his family as the Khmer Rouge starts to split up families into different camps based on like age. Did you guys get that too?
Yeah, I said Arn got taken to a special camp where they have to make rice or they have to like plant rice and farm all day, and then at night they have to go to meetings.
Well, I think that was pretty much like every single camp.
No, and then like the second he got taken to another camp that was just kids. It wasn't just adults. He got taken to like a special camp.
Okay. What did you put for number 5?
Brunswick.
Why would they have to
On 6?
what would it call it?
Yeah, that's fine. Number 6.
Well, the Khmer Rouge people try to get people to play instruments, and Arn doesn't have any idea how to play instruments, but he still like volunteers. Yeah, they gave him a kim, which is like a flat guitar. Yeah, you get like a bamboo stick and you hit strings and it makes sound.
I mean, if you see like he went through it because he thought.
Here's a picture of it.
Yeah, it's like a guitar that you hit the strings.
It looks kind of like a harp, but it's like just flat. It's
It's a guitar drum.
yeah. Okay, so that's what I put for number 6 too. That like he offered to, so that way he would get more food and hopefully.
He thought it would save his life eventually. And like,
Well, he was right though.
Yeah, it
he
did.
thought
It
if
saved
people
his
were
life.
gonna get killed in the other camp.
Yeah, his first teacher does get killed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. He taught him songs.
And now like, he teaches everyone how to play music. He's like,
Yeah, because like the new teacher doesn't give anything to them. He's kind of just there so he doesn't die. But then later, yeah, he warms up to him.
So then, like for number 7, I put that he writes music, which is pretty much what we're talking about. And thanks to his hard work, him and the rest of the band survived after like the concert.
And then I have to like play for the people in the camp so they can't hear the sounds of skulls being hit by axes.
Yeah, that was.
That's my favorite part.
And then later it's talking really, really.
I like gory stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And then like new prisoners start coming to the camp and he knows some of them, but Arn just pretends not to know them because if he shows feeling, then the soldiers will kill him.
Like he also talks about how
He covers himself in dirt so they can't trust him.
like how many
For number 8, I feel like that he then like became a dancer afterward because he talked about how he was just like an overall like he did like dancing and singing and
He's like an entertainer pretty much.
and like also back to what we were talking about, like him joining, deciding to like play music actually did save his life and several other people's lives, simply because he then like realized that he was too valuable for the community.
For them to kill him. Cameroon. Cameroon.
Rouge. Okay.
There's that part like when he said he was going to see Mac, and normally if they would have called him, they would have just killed him right there, but they said the camp player to go ahead.
Yeah. It's like he realized he had authority, and so
But then like after he starts playing the instruments, he has to start pushing. He gets like different jobs. So like he's a cook, and he has to push like bodies into graves, which is
I wonder where they peed on the head. That's kind of
that was a little morbid. Or they hit the guy with the butt of the gun and put a cigarette in his mouth and leave him against a tree.
But it's like you said, like he didn't even like do it like himself. It just happened.
Yeah.
Like, his body just.
well, I think that like his body, or like subconsciously, he knew that like I don't want to do this, but if I do this, you know, I'll live, you know.
And then he pretty much gets raped by the people in the house.
No, it was that one girl, that one girl.
Yeah, he got raped.
It's like yeah, no, I noticed, but like it was kind of like it's like you
I had to
never
read
say
over it a few times before I understood what was
But you
happening.
kind of knew something, but you're like,
it's like
It
just
like kind of popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was like a random paragraph
and then
in
he keeps
the.
saying like a number of keeps saying like,
how like she like did what she wanted with him in
she's
order
like-
to get food.
yeah, and he can go like, oh, you can do whatever you want.
And then his sister dies, but he's told that she dies from being sick, but he doesn't believe that. But he wishes to believe that.
He wants to believe it because yeah, we all know what probably happened.
Okay, let's move on to part 2.
Oh.
I think we summarized pretty well.
Oh, well, I was going to talk about like how they went to the head Cameroon's house at the end.
Oh yeah, he gets the
And
horse.
he like gets the horse or whatever and like survives there.
That's also, I
Ask questions to spark a discussion. Discussion. Right, 2 to 3 discussion questions and/or topics about this reading selection that will start and maintain a natural discussion about the text. Okay, who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Okay. So how do you think that Arn being popular throughout the camp because of his music skills helps to keep him and his friends alive?
You say that one more time. We've kind of talked really fast.
How do you think that Arn being popular throughout the camp because of his music skills helps to keep him and his friends alive?
Well,
No, because like he gets played as a favorite, and like they all like him because he's good at everything. He can entertain like other generals and more people up at the house.
And also, with that, like, he also gets like more chances to be able to steal food.
And then the next day,
he has like security of being alive because he knows that like when they get taken to mango groves, like that's usually where people go to die. But then like when he goes, he gets forced to like watch, but he has special privileges compared to everyone else. Like he gets to cook, or if he leaves at night to go visit like Mecca or whatever, then they just let him go. Whereas if like one of the just farmers did that, they'd be killed on the spot.
I feel like a lot of it was them like like knowing that he was the only one that could play that instrument, and that if they killed him, that like no one else would be able to pick it up. So that way he was valuable in a way that if they killed him, that they would be like they would get in trouble too. Okay.
Do you think that Arn has gone completely emotionless like the others in the camp, or has he just gotten numb to his surroundings in the camp?
I don't think you can ever become emotional because I feel like it's just hidden, you know?
I think it comes now because like they compare to where you keep out in the book, like it says like he starts laughing and he's on the horse, and it's like,
Yeah.
When he's on the horse because he's having fun, but like compared to like the others at the camp when they're just like forced to be there with nothing to do but
Like they're
farm.
not allowed to show emotion at the camp.
Yeah.
When he's on the horse, he's talking about how if you laugh prior to nothing, they kill you for no reason.
like there's so many images where he just talks about like, I can't feel.
Yeah.
He cries in his head or thinks about his family in his head.
Oh, and then there was that one part where he was like trying to find his family in his head,
Yeah.
but then he buried it so down deep inside him he couldn't even go back to that for like really years. That was kind
So
of
he's
sad.
got more bad in his head than good.
She
Yeah.
did try to tell someone, but they tell
War,
them that he's not
whatever you want to
doing
call
it.
it.
Yeah, I don't think you could ever completely lose your emotions. They're all just hidden, like in order to like survive or get through problems. But yeah, do you guys have any questions?
Why do you think like the general guy at his camp trusts him to ride the horse and deliver messages and doesn't just run off?
He's proven himself as worthy.
Like, I think the first time he did it, he was just kind of like, if you run away, you have nowhere to go, really. 'Cause
Yeah, he doesn't have anywhere
But
to
then
go.
he came back, so then he's just like, okay, I trust you now.
If he did run off, he wouldn't really have anywhere to go.
He could also be
He's got
tracked. I
food.
mean, I'm sure like these like
Rouge.
You know what?
Stop.
You know what? I'm gonna say it the way I want to say it. Okay. So, the Khmer Rogue. Okay. I'm pretty sure that they had people that could track. So, I mean, he wouldn't have been able to get far anyway. But yeah, most
He
people
knows that if he goes out, then he'll die from starvation or like dehydration.
you can always have insects.
He's survived on it.
I think when people go over like
I don't know, one question like that's been kind of running through my mind is like, what did you think about like when he would talk about like
so you're kind of like in this moment of shock and you're kind of living for like to survive in that moment, but like
It kind of made me angry when thinking that these little kids are forced to work all day with nothing to live off of but water, pretty much, with like a little bit of rice. They don't.
Hey guys, we're gonna take a quick timeout. We're gonna take a quick timeout. Don't stop any of the recordings. Just quick timeout. Look at your rubric. Okay? Look at the first row, respect for speaker. Look at the 4 column. All statements, responses, and body language were appropriate at all times. Your statements are probably appropriate. Like, how's your body language? Are you doing okay? Just think about what you're doing. You don't have to be like, but like, nonetheless, just check yourself, okay? Number 2, contributions is the big one. Look at 3. Usually provided useful ideas in the discussion. A strong group member who tries to further the group's thinking. How are you doing there? Think of number 4. Always provided, number 2, contributions, column 4. Always provided useful ideas in the discussion. A definite leader whose contributions not only further thinking may challenge others. How are you doing? If you are very extroverted and you're dominating the conversation, just take a moment to check yourself. If you're very introverted and you really haven't said much, I need you to try to push yourself, okay? Okay. Look at number 3, listening. This is the other one I'm kind of seeing. Look at column 4. Always had eyes on the speaker. And if appropriate, text open to the correct page. Okay? So if somebody's talking, especially if we're asking questions and you're giving answers, I'm really looking for eye contact. Okay? We are gonna go for probably 10 to 15 more minutes. Yeah. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up, but remember that rubric is right there in case you need to check yourself. Okay? Keep going, doing a great job.
Where was he going? We're talking about, yeah. I said it made me angry. But it's sad to think that these little kids were forced to do what they said or else they'd die when eventually they already pretty much are dying from malaria or starvation.
I just found it extraordinary that like they could even that aren't even alive. I mean, like, if you think about it, everything you went through, like I know that I would have already like collapsed and died. I don't even know how he survived through all this. You know?
Never fall down.
Well, I would have fallen. Okay, I would have tripped over a stone and died.
It's like
Okay.
sad to think like how like when he's like sleeping, he talks about like how he can smell the
Like how they get like good. It's not, and it talks about how
there are more friends.
the other soldiers are like chubby and like have shiny skin, whereas these kids are super bony and like bloated from having air in their stomach and they're pale. And it's not like they are short on food. Like all the soldiers have plenty of food and they're getting fat off of it. It's not like the kids can't have more than just rice and water.
I was just kind of sympathetic for him because he's like 12, 13 years old. And I wouldn't be able to make him do that.
Okay, so I have a question. Do you think that Arn being able to survive was pure luck or determination?
I think a bit of both, because it's like he wanted to be determined to like find his family, but it's also kind of like if he would have never just raised his son to say he could play music, like that was just kind of luck that he was able to make it up so long. So it's like, I think it was just kind of
It also ran through his family. You know, it talked about how like his parents used to be like they had like a theater or like own their own office. So I think that the musical talent did run through his family a little bit. But yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of
But, you know,
Can't think of anything off the top of your head that
Why do you think what?
Go ahead.
Why do you think that Arn always gave food away rather than like eating it himself?
He was sympathetic himself because he knew that the next day he would get food, but he knew that those soldiers that came, like the runaway prisoner, or the runaway prisoner, like when he came, he knew that the prisoner didn't have anything to eat, and he wouldn't get it from anywhere because he's a runaway. But he knew that he could either take more from the kitchen by himself or just wait the next day.
And I was really, he also kind of like him play against like he was just kind of like, oh, I'll live, but these other people might not.
He has better privileges than the others.
like, so,
Because like it said, like before the performance nights, they would get like good rice, and he'd keep some of it in his pocket, and he would give it to like the other performers because he knew he'd have enough strength, whereas like the other ones were throwing it or like collapsing while they were playing.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like when you're that hungry, I found it like hard to believe that like he gave away his food. Cause like I will eat, like I'll skip a meal and I'll just be starving. Like, you know, he hasn't eaten a proper meal. He hasn't eaten a proper meal in like 2 years. You know, so I find it like incredible to believe that like he gave away his food.
I complain about eating the same thing once a week, and she ate the same thing for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
With that, it's like with the whole meal thing, it's like, it was also kind of like sad when I said like how they ate the good rice so fast and none of it like stayed in their system.
Yeah, they couldn't handle it.
Even ramen would be a delicacy to them.
Ramen is a delicacy.
Yeah, that's true also, especially good with cheese. But anyway.
And then I say, do you think Arn should stand up for like the others in his camp, or just stay like the grass, or like be like the grass?
I think the second option, because if he like stands up for anybody, like they're gonna have to make an example out of him.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's not the good decision to make.
They don't want to kill him, but they would have to.
I mean, he's helping people by what he's doing right now, by giving them food, feeding them.
because they kind of
Good food
feel
that
like
he
that, you don't
steals.
want to accept that
Also,
something's bad,
I
especially
mean, there was
since,
like there's been many times where he
there's
has
also
stood up to
guilt
the
if they
mirror
do
to like
themselves,
save
if they
somebody
do
because
that to her.
because like I can't remember the exact passage, but there was a point where like one of the people was gonna get like taken away.
So it's kind of like,
And Arn just said no, it was me.
Oh yeah, that's actually one of
I
the
tricked him.
that's one of the passages I chose for the next part. We can talk about that when we get there.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, you want to okay. I didn't write it down all the way. Sorry. It's on page 80 though. If you guys want to follow along with me. So the passage is, I tell the guard it was my fault. I say, I trip him, I guess. I don't know why I say this, but I feel afraid. I feel like I have to protect this big, clumsy guy who tripped on his feet. This kid who always try not to cover my face with the flag. The guard doesn't like this. I think he knows that maybe I'm not telling the truth, but he makes a mad face and says, okay, get back to work. And the conflict in that was showing how Arn is like sympathetic towards the others and how he cares about them and doesn't want all of them to die like the others are. So he's trying to save people as he goes on in his like journey through this, I guess. So he defends his friends and shows how he has emotions still somewhere, but
To add on to like that quote or whatever, I like the next paragraph. It says, and I know then I have powers. Powers from playing the king and leading the other singer. Power from also being a dancer. Power from being a little bit a star in the show. I feel big with this power. Tall, not like kid. Not like little kid, like great power. I just stopped playing Civ from playing. I just stopped Civ from probably dying. No one here takes back to the community. No one challenged them, but maybe I can now.
yeah, so that like shows how he can stand up and not die, but slowly as he is doing, like before, if he would have just did that, he probably would have gotten killed along with the guy that tripped.
It's like he can do stuff now, but he has to be careful. You know?
Yeah, he can't like force them or like show too much power, like bite off one of the two or whatever. But he can do like start off with little things such as like telling guards to leave people alone or taking more food than what he is given, stuff like that.
Reading Rainbow Pieces got
conflicts. Mine was page 39.
Page 49. The guy who, the old musician of the kin, tells him to touch it while it says the old man like hummingbird wing. Also, he says, "You have talent. Work harder." Like, I feel like he told him that because if he gave him confidence to be able to do that, and if he was doing it and he's still alive as an old man, then it would help him. And he was realizing that if he became good enough at this, it would keep him alive for at least a longer period of time.
I think it kind of shows how like the Khmer Rouge people are contradicting themselves by like if you had talent before or like if you were smart they would kill you, but now
So
they
like
want
number 4, preparation.
they want talent back kind of as
That kills you.
as
You can't even get an A then.
Arn is learning how to be an even better musician and he's like teaching the others, so that shows how smart he is or talented he is in it.
I know.
Honestly, I think I agree.
I agree.
I was
Message iTunes, page 90 with 2 people.
I totally agree. But
Kids, it says always with a kind voice.
I hope
They
that
say to
you
each other, comrade
guys
this, comrade that. One day you're a comrade,
know
next
what
day you're
that's
a
gonna
corpse.
do.
And I thought like this was like really
You know it too. But here's what we're gonna do.
strange.
Okay, so one for
It's
preparation.
page 90, it's at the very
That's
top.
only
Oh,
that's only one of the 7.
And it's like, you know, they call each other
Finish
comrade,
these
but then the
things. things.
next day they just
So when I
gonna
grade
like
them
kill
on
each other, you know?
Saturday,
And it
they're
just doesn't
done and they are rocking. Then you can use 25 summative points. Okay?
Off topic.
You have 2 minutes.
Yeah, if you like to
2
kind of think silly, it's
minutes.
okay, you know?
Okay, so what does this conflict illustrate? And I put it illustrates what's going on around Arn and how difficult it is for him to survive. Like with death happening around you all so much, it's hard to make sure that you're not next, you know?
Like the soldier, they killed the soldiers. Like it was that rainy night. They were all out together, and then eventually they like hit him with the butt of the gun or whatever, and then they beat him to death. So those guys could have been like they're still on the same team, I guess. But then after that, they still kill him.
That could have been him.
He could be killed at any time. So even like as he gets more power, he could become like one of them.
One of my messages that I have, it's like
Yeah.
it's like how it says, like when the kid becomes
Comrade.
Yes, it is.
Okay, sorry, continue.
What? So my passage on that one, it's like it says when the kid are coming back, he break the soldier, kill me.
Wrap it up. What are the last things you want to say?
But the
Wrap it up.
soldier just told Mac to scram, and like how he says like that he told Mac to scram too, like he trusted that he was gonna. So it's like just kind of weird, like how after like this shows, like how not all the people.
All right. Here we go.
We gotta move.
We're done, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think we have to.
We have like 2 more.
Yep. Go ahead and stop.
We didn't
All
get to the
right.
text to world or the
Bye.
reaction to reading part.
What if we didn't finish?